Hi Patty. Today we bring you to Warren Central High School where they brought therapy dogs in to help with a certain crisis that happened back in January. Here's a story.
We had a tragedy at the end of the year in which 3 of our students were shot and 2 of which passed away.
A tragedy that can burden an entire community and cause emotional trauma that can sometimes go unnoticed.
We have a crisis response team in which we contact pastoral care, so some of the local churches. We also have mental health professionals that come in that are partners with us, and we have Paws and Think that we contacted about bringing in the therapy dogs. We try to reach all of our students and try to help them through their grief.
Therapy dogs are a tool that can be used in situations of crisis or loss. A tool that is priceless and can make a large impact on the recovery of the situation.
We came into a very large group of students. They were very emotional. Most of them, because it had happened on the weekend, were already aware of what happened.
Jerry and her dog Grace arrived at Warren Central High School after the first student had lost their life.
What Grace and I did was some of walking through the kids, and if they would reach out and want to pet her, then we would stop and talk to the kids and ask, I would ask if they had pets and how they knew the student that had died.
These types of teams come at the most critical of times. They have to be prepared for any situation like this.
All of our therapy teams go through a training process and then they are evaluated to be registered with Paws and Think.
Kelsey Burton, the executive director of Paws and Think, says not just any dog or handler can be part of a therapy team.
So for this program here, what we had is a group of specially trained volunteers who went through a trauma or crisis response training. And so in that training, they really learn what it's like to come into a situation that may be kind of heavy, may be a really tough situation, and how to prepare themselves and how to read their dog's body language. That's really important because not all dogs are cut out for all sorts of therapy work. Paws and Think, we're huge advocates of it being a therapy team, and as a handler, it's really important that you advocate for your dog. So it's not just, let's get the dog ready, they know their skills. It's, as a handler, I am trained and prepared to be able to read my dog's body language, to be able to know that it's really about the dog and the relationship they're building with the person in need.
As a handler, you know it's just the power of a dog's touch that could break a barrier.
When the first student passed away, we were in the cafeteria kind of doing triage with all the students, and we had some groups going on and some individual discussions as well. But at one time there was this big therapy dog, it was like 80 pounds, and was laying on the floor, and there were like 9 kids laying around the dog, just petting the dog, and they were talking amongst themselves, but just it provided a sense of calm and just was very soothing, and they were able to just sit and talk while they were petting the dog.
The dogs are just that unconditional, loving presence, and they seem to, just a petting of the dog would get the kids to start talking.
It's amazing the amount of breakthroughs we've seen that when you bring a dog into a situation, a kid or even an adult for that matter, is able to open up.
Opening the doors to recovery.
They were a godsend in such a terrible situation.
If you think your dog could be a therapy dog, just contact Paws and Think or any therapy group in your area. For Pet Pals TV, I'm Adam Dunn.